POV-Ray.
Welcome to Lesson 5 of the POV-Ray tutorials. You can see I've already rendered the scene out here, and it's basically the same scene that we used in Lesson 4 with the blue boxes removed, which I was using to show translate and rotate. This new scene has a few new things in it, although they're not being rendered at the moment. You can see here I've got the background command and 2 copies of the plane command. All of these are not part of the scene yet because they are surrounded by these special comment markers. These indicate to POV-Ray that it shouldn't take any notice of the commands that are between the start comment and the end comment. So here I start the comment which says hide background, and there I end that comment. Then I start another comment here which says hide the commands that follow, in this case a plain statement, and there I end that comment. And again I hide the second plain commands with a third set of comments. The rest of the scene is very familiar. We've got this first part here which includes the standard colour definitions which we've used in the previous lessons. Here we've got the include that we created during the last lesson to store the 3 cylinders that you can see rendered in this image. We've got the same camera and we've got the same light source that we used in the previous lessons. I'll explain what the background is now. In the scene we've got rendered here, it looks like we have a black background colour. That's not strictly true. What we've actually got is an absence of colour. We haven't told POV-Ray to put any colour in the background. So if I take these comment commands out here, the background command will now be recognised by POV-Ray, and it will actually carry out the command, which in this case is to set the background to white. So I'll run that, and there you go. Instead of a horrible black background, we've now got a genuine white background. Let me take out the comments surrounding the plain statement. And I'll run that because it's easier to show you than to explain. Okay, we've now got something underneath these cylinders, and you're actually able to see the shadows that the cylinders are casting because the light source is pointing at them. Now, let's explain the plane statement. A plane is an infinite solid. In this case, I've said it's controlled by the y-axis, which is the up and down. Its position is -1, and its colour will be white. And that's rendered here, and you can see the shadows cast across the plane. I suppose I should explain. Although I've told it to be white, the object looks grey. POV-Ray does some clever stuff in the background. I'm not really sure how it works internally. But the colour white on the background is a definite solid, obviously white. But when you render it onto an object, it depends how close or how much light is thrown onto that object as to how bright and how white it becomes. Some of the default behaviour within POV-Ray is that the further something is from a light source, the darker it gets. So if you look at this image here, you can see it's a lighter grey at the front, nearer our light source. And as it moves away from our light source, it gets darker. Let me show you the second plane statement, and then I'll show you some more stuff to do with colours. So I take out the comments, and I run it. So here I've created another infinite solid, a plane, but this time controlled by the z-axis, which is forwards and backwards. So I've set this one 2 units into the distance, and I've told it to be basically green. And therefore you can now see we've got the white plane and the green plane, and our shadows are being cast across both of those planes. The interesting thing here is the green, that I've told to multiply that colour by 0.8. That basically means make it less green. If I change this right down to 0.3, so instead of being a full green colour, it's now going to be roughly a third of that green colour, which effectively will make it darker. There you go, and you can now see that it's a much darker green. As well as multiplying something by a low decimal point value, such as 0.3, you can multiply it upwards and make it brighter. So I changed the white colour and I'm now multiplying it by 2. That'll make it twice as white. There you go. Now that looks much more like our background colour, doesn't it? Well, that's all I'm going to show you this time. Come back soon.